Every year, parents spend hundreds of dollars on flashcards, brain-building apps, and smart toys promising to give their baby a head start. Baby Einstein videos, bilingual cubes, subscription boxes that arrive every month with a new gadget to shake, squeeze, or stare at. And it makes sense. When you look at that tiny face, you want to give them everything. You want to do it right. But here's what almost nobody tells you. Researchers at Harvard's Center on the Developing Child spent years studying what actually builds a baby's brain architecture in those first few years, the wiring that shapes attention, language, and emotional regulation for life. And what they found had nothing to do with anything you can buy. It wasn't the flashcards, it wasn't the app with the singing shapes. It was something so small, so ordinary, that most parents do a version of it by accident every single day, without realizing just how powerful it is. Picture this. Your baby is lying on a blanket, and a fire truck rushes by outside. She gasps, points, looks up at you with wide eyes. In that half second, something enormous is happening in her brain. And what you do next, whether you notice, whether you respond, whether you meet her gaze and say something back, that moment is doing more for her developing mind than any screen ever could. Scientists have a name for this back and forth. They call it serve and return, like a game of tennis, but played with attention instead of a ball. Your baby serves a signal, a look, a sound, a reach, and when you return it, with your voice, your face, your presence, you're not just being a sweet parent, you're literally helping to build the neural connections that will shape how she thinks, feels, and relates to the world for the rest of her life. And the best part? It costs nothing. It takes 5 minutes, and you already have everything you need to start today. You've probably heard the warning. Don't overstimulate your baby. Too much talking, too much noise, too much interaction. Give them space to just be. So parents start second-guessing themselves. Am I talking too much? Should I let her stare at the ceiling in peace? But here's what the research actually says. Babies aren't overwhelmed by attention from the people who love them. They're overwhelmed by unpredictable, chaotic environments, flashing screens, constant background noise, inconsistent caregiving. A parent responding warmly to their baby's cues isn't too much. It's exactly the input their brain is wired to seek out. The real danger isn't too much connection, it's too little of it, replaced by things that can't connect back. So the next time your baby reaches for you and you scoop her up, talking and smiling, you're not overstimulating her. You're giving her precisely what her nervous system evolved to need. By the time most kids start kindergarten, roughly 90% of their brain's physical growth is already done. Not their knowledge, their brain's actual architecture. The neural pathways that will shape how easily they learn to read, how well they handle frustration, how securely they form relationships later. Most of that scaffolding is built before they ever sit in a classroom. This is why researchers keep circling back to the same early years over and over, not because school doesn't matter, it does, but because school is built on top of a foundation that's already there by age 3. A strong foundation makes everything after it easier. A shaky one means kids spend years playing catch-up for something that had nothing to do with effort or intelligence. The good news? You don't need a curriculum for this stage. You need presence. Every conversation, every comfort after a cry, every shared moment of attention is quietly pouring the foundation for a building you won't see finished for another 18 years. 2 kids go through the exact same stressful moment, a loud noise, a fall, a scary stranger. One calms down in a minute, the other stays dysregulated for an hour. Same event, completely different outcomes. Why? Researchers call it co-regulation. Before a child can calm themselves down, they need years of practice being calmed down by someone else. Every time a caregiver responds to distress with steadiness instead of panic, a calm voice, a steady presence, a hand on the back, the child's brain is quietly learning what regulation feels like from the outside, so it can eventually build that skill on the inside. That's the real work of these early years. Not lessons, not flashcards, just being the calm your child borrows until they can build their own. Every time you show up steady in their storm, you're not just getting them through today, you're wiring in a skill they'll carry for the rest of their life. If this helped you understand your baby a little better, hit subscribe. We break down the science behind parenting like this every week, and share this with another parent who needs to hear it too.